Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. Today we're going to be talking about some big changes that Riot is claiming to be making very soon. I believe as soon as tomorrow, I think is when patch 11.2 comes out, that will hopefully be improving quality of life for League of Legends players in ranked. It will be increasing the LP gains, potentially lowering the LP loss, and hopefully getting things to a better, more stable place, which I know I've already made a couple of videos before about just how messed up the LP gains have been, how frustrating that can be, how dumb it is that Riot is kind of playing those stupid games with people and making the game just more frustrating, feel worse, be more grindy. Obviously, they're trying to get people to play the game more and stuff, and it hasn't really worked. It's been a bad tactic, and they've claimed to fix it previously, and they haven't really actually change anything. Hopefully this time they're actually going to do something, but in this video today we're going to be covering what all changes you can be expecting, what's going to be happening, and getting more into some of those details. But before we get into that, I just want to mention real quick, if you guys are not already subscribed, definitely click that subscribe button really quick. It's fast, it's free, it's easy, helps you guys stay up to date on all my latest content, and I would appreciate it a ton. Recently we hit 6,100 subscribers. I would love to see how fast we can hit 6,200 with you guys' support, feedback, everything. You know, we can really hopefully continue to just make better and better content on this channel. There's been a lot of craziness going on lately behind the scenes, you know, maybe some stuff that's kind of making all this stuff tough and crazy, but I love making these videos. I want to continue to do it. So yeah, just showing your support, showing your love, putting some positivity in the world. Doesn't have to be towards me, but you know, if that's what you're feeling, that's great as well. Clicking that like button helps me out with the YouTube algorithm a ton. With that being said, here we go. So to catch you guys up to speed, December 4th, 2020, so pretty much in the whole preseason, they got rid of promos, and they made it easier to demote. So theoretically, it's supposed to be a little bit easier to promote, a little bit easier to demote, because promos felt really bad. Because not only did you have to win a game to get into promos, you also then had to win 2 out of 3. So in essence, you had to win 3 out of 4 to ever get promoted, and that felt terrible, and people didn't like that. So Riot was like, hey, yeah, we'll give you guys a nice quality of life thing. We'll remove promos. But what ended up happening is that they removed promos, so then it kind of was easier to promote and stuff. So they had to start giving people less LP. Well, then for whatever reason, you know, their system was still messed up, so people were still getting inflated ranks compared to their MMR, so the game thought you were placed too high, so all of a sudden people were getting, like, I saw as low as like 8 LP for wins and losing like 17 or 18 for losses. And again, I've made 2 videos about this, and I think each video has around 5,000 views, because this is a problem that so many people are having. And go look at those videos. The comments are just like, dude, I just got minus 21, I get 12 for wins, dude, I just got plus 7 for a win, like all this crazy stuff. And the worst part is, it's affecting people who are win streaking. People who are playing well and climbing and winning games were the ones being affected by this the most. It's like if you won, you got rewarded with getting less LP for your future wins. And that's such a dumb system. And it felt really grindy. It felt really horrible. And I've gotten so many comments on this video that like, man, it's not even worth it to play. I'm going to stop playing this game because it's getting ridiculous. And maybe that is why Riot is, you know, today beginning to hopefully be making some changes. But I do want to caution you guys a little bit, because this is what they said on December 4th. We made some pretty big changes to the LP system during the preseason, some of which are easy to see. No more division promos, and some of which are more under the hood, improvements to our matchmaking algorithm. There have been some hiccups during the rollout of these systems, but that's why we do them during the preseason, where they have a smaller impact, which I agree is definitely a good call. The end result is that we saw players' ranks being inflated, which resulted in lower LP gains in the short term. We made the necessary tuning and fixes so that everything will be correct by the seasonal reset in January. Now, that is my problem with what Riot said. They put in this December 4th, it is now January 20th, that the necessary tuning and fixes so that everything will be correct with the seasonal reset in January. Again, that was 2 weeks ago, would have been the seasonal reset in January, and almost nothing changed. From what I saw, people were still having the same issues of getting ridiculously low amounts of LP and losing ridiculously high amounts of LP, to the point where for certain people, depending on how the system had you, it was almost impossible to climb. It was almost impossible to promote with anything less than like a 70% win rate, which is just absolutely ridiculous. You had to grind so many games even when you were winning, and it just felt terrible for people, and it was so dumb. And again, this is after they claimed that things would be fixed for the seasonal reset in January, and this is, it's been over a month since December 4th, obviously. So in the past, they have claimed to be fixing these things, claimed to be working on these things, and maybe things got a little bit better. You know, I can't tell for sure, just because every case is so unique and the LP numbers seem to be completely random with some people, but for sure the problem was not solved or really anywhere near it, because again, look at the video I posted in December and then look at the video I posted a little bit later. They both have similar amounts of views, similar amounts of comments, and people telling really the same stories. And I've seen this stuff firsthand. I don't play the game as much anymore, but I played a little bit. I got, I think 9 LP was the lowest I got for a win during the preseason, where I was kind of playing a lot more, and that just feels terrible, and it is really bad, and it's really dumb, and it does kind of discourage people from playing, and that's not what we want. We're League of Legends fans. You know, obviously I mostly focus on esports, but for esports to be doing good, people got to be playing the game. People got to be excited about the game. People got to care about the game, and the game has to be fun and an enjoyable experience. So Riot really needs to get this under control. Anyway, they go on to say with all the change for next season, we do expect LP gains and losses to be slightly smaller on average. We're planning to do a smaller ranked reset at the beginning of the season. That is fine. Removing divisional promotion series makes people climb faster and benefit more from a win streak. The combination of these two things cause rank inflation. So in order for the rank system to stay accurate, we need to tone back the amount of LP gain per win. And again, that is all fine. Once they remove promos, that is a couple of extra wins less that you need to get promoted, so it makes sense to get less LP. But what doesn't make sense is to get 8 LP for a win, you know, we'll call typical like 20 LP for a win. That is a ridiculous drop. But also, you know, you should see a reduction in LP gained, but also an LP loss. It didn't make sense that it seemed like they reduced the LP gain, but then increased the LP loss, which was just so stupid. Such a terrible combination all happened at once. But anyway, that's the long story to say that the new update, this is what Mark Yetter tweeted out a couple hours ago. I can't remember his official title, like lead gameplay design. Yeah, gameplay design director for League of Legends. Tweeted out 2 hours ago. We have an update coming in 11.2. This comes out tomorrow, I believe, January 21st, I believe the release date of patch 11.2. That fixes MMR bug and boosts LP gains. Now, again, them saying they fixed it, to me, that is kind of big talk because, again, they have said, this is not the first time that they claim that they have fixed it. Hopefully, this time they've actually done it. We'll have to wait and see. You know, I'm going to be optimistic. I'm going to trust them. I'm going to believe them. But I'm not going to blindly trust them. I'm going to have, you know, I want to see it for myself, and I want to start hearing it from other people. So, you know, if you guys see this video a couple days into the patch or whatever, let me know. How's LP going? Are you gaining more? Is it feeling better? And are they on the right track? Because, again, I think it's going to be a huge change for the game overall in terms of the experience, quality of life, and just the overall fun that people can have. Because playing a half-hour game, 45-minute game, and getting 8 LP makes no sense. Then if you lose 19, then you got to win 3 games to even gain any LP that day. I mean, you know, they want you to play the game. They want you to grind. They want you to have to play 3 games to get that back. So, you know, some of it could be a bug, but some of it also could be Riot maybe doing some kind of scummy things as well. But you know, we don't know for sure. So we wanted to both improve the current LP experience, but also find the root cause and be sure it's fixed. And again, this is a very, very complicated system. It could just be an honest mistake in their part that they're trying to figure out. That's very, very possible as well. Hopefully they do get under control. After you get some games in 11.2, let us know how you're feeling about it. I definitely want to hear that from you guys as well. So here's what they said. We discovered an issue with MMR where the gains and losses were too small for players with lots of games. And that's not even necessarily true. Because the losses weren't too small with players with lots of games. And it's not even lots of games. The season's pretty new. I mean, some people were playing like 30 games, you know, it's been a couple weeks. That's a couple games a day. That doesn't seem like that many. So if we're considering that lots of games, I mean, what's it going to be when you have 1,000 games played in the season? This was causing win streaking players in particular to have negative LP gains, plus 12, minus 15, which that seemed pretty generous because, again, I'm seeing plus 10, minus 17, which is even bigger. We're rolling out a fix to the MMR bug with the 11.2 patch. Additionally, we adjusted the LP formula slightly to increase LP gains across the board. So, again, in terms of them increasing LP, I hope they're also reducing lost LP because the LP losses, it seems like are even higher than last season, which really doesn't make sense because if you're gaining less, you should also be losing less, and it should even out, you know, because, again, they remove some games at the top, but if you just make the number smaller, then it does kind of get it more difficult to move up. That's what I think. Again, who knows exactly what the truth is and exactly what they're going to do. But it seems to me that Riot is not even telling the full story because, again, it's not gains and losses that were too small. It seems to just be the gains that are too small and the losses are too big, if anything. And yes, the negative LP gains are an issue, but maybe the issue is even more dramatic than Riot thinks. And I know some people will try to sensationalize and maybe exaggerate their experience and stuff sometimes, but I have seen this firsthand. I have gotten 9 for a win. I have lost 18 for a loss. I know that is a real problem, and I know that is as extreme as the numbers can get. And is my case personally the most extreme? No, I'm sure there's people who've had more extreme cases or at least similarly extreme cases. And I know how terrible it feels, and I know it can feel frustrating. And I know it has definitely affected me playing less games in the preseason and so far into Season 11. With that being said, I do think Season 11 is very, very fun. I think they've made great changes to the game. I think the new items are good. I think the meta is pretty solid right now. I think balance is overall pretty good. But them kind of destroying the rank system, which is what a lot of people play for, you know, that competition, that climb, that progression, throwing that all out of whack is weird. And I've actually had a lot of comments of people wanting promos back at this point, which is crazy because we all know like a lot of people hated promos, and that's kind of why they went away with this in the first place. So again, Riot claims to be on the right track. Hopefully they're fixing things. but we'll have to wait and see tomorrow, I guess, or maybe even the next couple of days, because it could take a while to kind of get everything going, even with the changes that they have made. But that is pretty much it for this video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you did enjoy it. It helps me out so much with the YouTube algorithm, and I would just appreciate it a ton. Leave a comment down below. What has your experience been so far with the rank system? Have you gotten these crazy negative LP gains, or do you think it's frustrating? Has it caused you to play less? And again, if you're seeing this a few days into the patch, let me know if they've fixed some stuff. I would love to hear, because if they haven't, I want to keep them honest. But if they have fixed some things, I want to give them praise, because we should definitely, have that give and take, and letting Riot know when they actually do something good. Subscribe, sip down on my latest content. Let's try and hit 6,200 as soon as we can. Hopefully, catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.